They believed at the time that she may have died from choking on her own vomit. There was something on the body that struck me rather peculiar, and it was that there were 3 lines that went all the way across her chest, that were just 3 indentations on her chest.
Tim Buskowski told Steve Good that he found Elaine submerged in the bathtub, an accidental drowning. He had an odd explanation for the marks on her body.
What he said was that he had taken her and he had pulled her out of the tub and then pushed her over the edge of the tub where the tracks were, and even said that he had laid on top of her to try to push the water out of her. What I remember about him the most was he didn't really show much emotion. He was very, very emotionless when he was there.
Mary Ann Rockford also noticed that Tim wasn't acting like the typical widower in grief. He seemed more concerned about Elaine's will and insurance policy, and his story about that night didn't jive.
He told us that he had to take the hinges off of the bathroom door because he heard her in there. And when we looked at the bathroom door, the hinges were on the inside.
The way he was treating his children in the aftermath of their mother's death was also suspicious. It was as though he wanted to hush them up.
2 of the children making statement to my sister that they heard Mommy yelling. And Tim approaching them and putting his arms around them and saying, "Okay, no more of that."
A short time later, Elaine Buskowski's autopsy results were in. The coroner had ruled it undetermined, which meant the case was effectively closed.
When I think back in 11 years in law enforcement, when I think back to the levels of frustration I had, that moment, I had never been so frustrated.
Do my tickle, put him back to sleep.
After Elaine was laid to rest, the children were in for one more shock. Tim Buskowski was uprooting them from their life and friends in Greensboro and moving them to his hometown of Pittsburgh.
It was just weeks away from Sandy's first Holy Communion. It was during the school session.